Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Dex and Jocelyn kissed each other at the pool at Metro Court. He then inquired about Trina, to which Jocelyn replied that she had left to get some beverages. The topic of Drew's imminent prison sentence came up in their talk. Jocelyn said that she felt bad for spending the day at the pool because she knew that her mother had been putting up a brave face and said that Drew could protect himself, but 3 years in Pentonville had been wrong. Trina replied, "I hear that." Trina could relate to Jocelyn since she had experienced what it was like to feel powerless when observing a loved one go through a trying situation. Trina inquired about Dex's past when she placed the drinks on the table. Dex acknowledged that he had changed employment several times after leaving the military before landing at Volanino's gym. Trina was shocked and wondered if Jocelyn and Dex had met at the gym. Dex and Jocelyn smiled at one another, and Dex said they had met when he was at work. "For Sonny," remarked Jocelyn. Jocelyn had threatened to contact the police, but she had changed her mind after Dex urged her to give him a break, according to Dex. Trina told Dex that he had been lucky, but he gave all the credit to Jocelyn, saying that she had intended to denounce Sonny, but she had changed her mind since Dex would have been collateral damage. Trina acknowledged that Jocelyn and Dex appeared to be pleased when Dex went for work. "We are," Jocelyn responded. Jocelyn acknowledged that she didn't appreciate Dex working for Sonny after Trina asked how she felt about it. Jocelyn, though, asserted that she was the only person who knew a secret aspect of Dex. Trina said that she had similar feelings for Spencer. Jocelyn questioned, "Really? Anything specific?" Jocelyn was the recipient of Trina's disclosures to her regarding Victor's safe and the proof against Esme. Jocelyn was perplexed and inquired as to why the proof hadn't been given to the police. Trina responded that Victor might have fabricated everything. Esme had perpetrated the crimes, according to Jocelyn. Jocelyn questioned, "So, what's wrong with setting her up to make her pay for them?" Jocelyn asserted that Esme deserved it in light of the suffering she had caused her and Trina. Jocelyn questioned Trina about how convinced she was that the proof was false after Trina reminded her of it. Trina clarified that it was irrelevant, since she had instructed Spencer to obliterate the proof, which he had already done. "Wow," Jocelyn remarked. "You must have a pretty positive impact on him." Spencer volunteered to drive his grandma to the airport when they arrived at Laura's apartment, but she reassured him it wasn't necessary because she had arranged for a driver to pick her up. Esme concurred with Spencer's warning to Laura that the journey to Russia was too perilous. Esme and Spencer's worries were acknowledged, but Laura was set on going to Chechnya. Laura brought up a different topic by informing Spencer and Esme that she had made arrangements for them to have some backup while she was away from the area. Laura noticed that Spencer and Esme had both gotten up with Ace rather than switching off because neither one of them had trusted the other to properly care for the infant, as they complained about being up much of the night with Ace. Esme and Spencer didn't dispute it. Laura reminded Esme of their past discussions, with Esme accepting Spencer's aid after Spencer went to make a cup of coffee. Esme asserted that she understood Ace's needs better than Spencer did. "Well," Laura remarked, "excellent for you." Laura encouraged Esme to let Spencer handle things with Ace, and that she needed to get some rest. Spencer was nice with Ace, and Laura reminded Esme that if Esme were to budge a little, Spencer would meet her halfway. Martin and Lucy arrived shortly after. Laura said she had asked her brother to assist Spencer and Esme if they required it. Esme and Spencer were reassured by Lucy that she could be reached via phone. Laura reprimanded her grandson for being impolite when Spencer smilingly questioned whether Martin had any experience with kids. Spencer was reassured by Lucy that Martin has a variety of skills, including skin care. Martin swiftly silenced Lucy by inquiring as to Kevin's whereabouts. "Kevin will meet her at the airport," Laura said, adding that he was finishing off a few things at the hospital. When Lucy remarked that Spencer and Esme would become closer because of their time spent alone caring for the baby, Spencer and Esmond grinned at her. Esmond and Spencer both stated emphatically that Ace would be their main priority. Laura resisted Martin's request to change her mind about the trip when he assured him that Kevin and Valentin would take good care of her. Spencer inquired about Laura's conversation with Esmond after Martin and Lucy had left. She informed him that Ace required both Esmond and Spencer, but Spencer claimed that Esmond wasn't necessary and that Ace would be better off without her. Laura reprimanded Spencer for forgetting that Esmond and Ace came as a package. Spencer's mind briefly wandered to his conversation with Trina after they discovered Victor's safe deposit box, but he quickly pushed the thought aside. Despite Spencer's best efforts, Laura forewarned him that Esmond would not vanish. Spencer questioned Laura's level of confidence that Nicholas was hidden in Chechnya. Although Laura acknowledged that there was no certainty, she had hope because Victor had previously hidden Nicholas. Even if she didn't locate Nicholas in Chechnya, Laura added, she might come across a tip that would guide her in the proper way. Spencer questioned whether the effort was worthwhile. He is your father, Laura confirmed. Although Spencer informed his grandma that he accepted full responsibility for his part in Esmond's scheme to separate Nicholas and Ava, he argued that his father had committed crimes that could not be forgiven. On the odd possibility that Nicholas was in Chechnya, Spencer didn't want to lose Laura. Laura gave her grandson a bear hug and promised him she wouldn't leave him. As Spencer grew older, Laura vowed he would realize that not many actions were truly unforgivable. If you let them, people change, Laura said. Esmond heard what Laura had said from a distance. Laura took her bags as her driver arrived. She gently reassured Esme that everything would be okay and urged her to welcome visitors without being hesitant. Laura was warned by Spencer to stay safe or he would have to travel to Russia to find her. Laura grinned and prompted him to treat Esmond with respect. I'm here for you, Spencer said. Esmond and Spencer agreed to collaborate for Ace after Laura left. Martin questioned if they were all right, while Lucy read a Crimson magazine at the Metro Court pool, since he could tell she was upset. He didn't believe Lucy when she said everything was ok because she hadn't been acting like herself. Martin, Lucy countered, could say the same thing about him, and she claimed that Martin had previously silenced her. Martin recalled that they had already addressed the reasons why Lucy shouldn't tell people that he had assisted her in creating Deceptor. Lucy questioned, why not? Instead of responding, Martin urged Lucy to make a vow not to let anyone know that they had ever talked about Deceptor. Lucy reluctantly consented. Lucy eventually excused herself. When she was by herself, she took out her phone and made a call, asking the person to meet her in the pool. Something is wrong with Martin, and I need your assistance, Lucy stated. Anna was surprised when Valentin stormed into her townhouse and inquired as to her well-being. Valentin led Anna outside to look at her front door because she was perplexed and questioned why she shouldn't be. On the entrance door was scrawled "Murderer" in flamboyant crimson spray paint. Valentin was positive that the message had been left by someone with malicious intentions, but Anna instantly disregarded it as a harmless prank by someone who had read one of the pieces in the Sun. While Anna went inside to get something to wipe her door, Valentin brought out his phone and took a couple pictures of the door. Valentin chose to postpone his journey to Chechnya since he thought the letter had been a warning shot. Anna disagreed. She argued that he must go on the vacation with Kevin and Laura because they must have Valentin's protection. He received Anna's assurance that she could take care of herself. Valentin said, "I love you." He was assured that Anna loved him as well. She acknowledged that she also cherished his desire to defend her. Anna listed a number of reasons why she loved Valentin, including the fact that she could breathe when they were together. As the two of them moved over to the staircase in the foyer and sat on the step, "You're watching out for me, so I don't have to keep an eye on my back," Anna said. She was aware that he recognized the hurt caused by prior errors. "Yeah, I do," replied Valentin. Valentin questioned, "Is that what this is? You want me to leave as atonement?" Valentin was informed by Anna about the visit from Laura, Felicia, and Robert and how she had struggled to get rid of them quickly enough. She had, however, been left with a shocking headline from the newspaper once she was alone herself. Anna had considered her entire professional life and everything she had accomplished. The good and the bad, Anna remarked. Even though her life had been chronicled in numerous periodicals, she understood that nothing had changed. Valentin emphasized to Anna that she had put a lot of effort into making up for her time spent working for that she had wished to strike a balance. "You have," said Valentin. She gave him a grateful smile and assured him that everything would be okay. If the vandal came back, Anna vowed to be prepared and wouldn't think twice about proving her mettle. Valentin was directed to find Nicholas by Anna. "Then return here and look for me," she said. Valentin gave her a kiss. Olivia admitted she had messed up with Ned the night before in the kitchen at Quartermain. Tracy remarked, "Ned thinks he's Eddie Main, and none of us know how to cope with it." Chase and Brooklyn met up on the patio after their morning exercise. Brooklyn said that she had almost forgotten that her father didn't know who she was, but Chase had commended her for pushing herself. Chase approached her and gave her a hug. They arrived in the kitchen shortly after, and Tracy welcomed them. When Brooklyn inquired about her father, Tracy replied that Ned was still residing at Sunny's house. Brooklyn questioned Tracy about why she hadn't stopped Olivia from giving Ned some clothing and other goods when Tracy stated that she had. Tracy claimed that Olivia was Ned's wife, despite Brooklyn's concerns that she would just feel disappointed. Tracy remarked, "She's fighting for her husband." Tracy advised that Brooklyn get dressed for work, which caught Brooklyn off guard. Brooklyn gave an explanation for why she had skipped work. Chase remarked that Brooklyn's father had been hurt and no longer recognized his daughter, which made Tracy unhappy. "She needs a break, so give her one," Chase said. Tracy specifically questioned Chase about going back to work. Tracy began to tell Brooklyn what was at risk, but she had to stop when her phone rang. Brooklyn thanked Chase for his help before Tracy went outside to answer the phone. She acknowledged that without security footage documenting her father's fall, Tracy's testimony would have prevailed over Drew's. Chase acknowledged that a second witness had been present. When he stated that Nina had witnessed the entire episode, Brooklyn was taken aback. Brooklyn questioned Nina's decision to remain silent. Chase remarked, "I don't know, but it's weird, right?" Tracy reassured a stranger on the patio that she was focused on the task at hand, but she didn't like criticism. She told them that since they were partners, she didn't report to them, but she pledged to find out what they required to know about Deceptor. Tracy hung up the phone and went back to the kitchen where she discovered Chase and Brooklyn sharing a kiss. Tracy questioned, "Don't you two ever stop?" Chase answered, "Only when absolutely necessary." When Sunny asked Nina if she had seen Ned, she replied that he was still asleep. Sunny reassured her that the doctors preferred for Ned to get lots of rest when she proposed that they check on Ned. Sunny informed Nina that he had already spoken to Olivia. Ned walked into the living room just then. Ned asked, "Can someone tell me what I'm doing here?" Eddie thanked Sunny for giving him a somewhere to stay the night. So Sunny admitted that Olivia was a good friend. It soon became evident that Ned had been referring to Sunny's opulent condo, and that Ned still believed that he was Eddie Main. Sunny was reassured by Eddie that Olivia appeared like a wonderful woman. However, Eddie was frustrated since he had no idea how to persuade Olivia that he couldn't be the kind of person she desired. Olivia's arrival didn't make Eddie's disposition any better. Olivia apologized for what had happened at the Savoy and expressed disappointment that Ned's memories hadn't come back. To give Olivia and Eddie some space, Sunny and Nina carried Olivia's dessert plate to the kitchen. Eddie was given an overnight bag filled with clothes by Olivia, but she requested him to wait a little while so she could show him a photo album. Eddie agreed grudgingly. Olivia was disappointed that no recollection was sparked by the pictures of her and Ned's life. But when he saw a picture of Ned and Lois Cerullo, Eddie brightened. When Sunny and Nina entered the living room again, Sunny questioned Eddie regarding the identity of the woman in the picture. Sunny explained that Lois had been his childhood buddy and Ned's music manager after Eddie confessed he couldn't remember the name. As her eyes began to well up with tears, Olivia looked through a few more pictures in an effort to stir up a recollection. When Eddie identified one of his guitars in a picture, she lost her cool because he could only recall a guitar from the 1990s, but not his wife's regret over upsetting Olivia. Nina followed Eddie into the hallway when he made the decision to leave the room for some fresh air. Olivia admitted that she was scared that Eddie might try to flee the area when Sunny tried to console her. Sunny urged Olivia to persist. He received her assurance that she would battle like hell for her family. Olivia informed Sunny that she would leave when his phone rang. Eddie halted when Nina addressed him by name in the corridor, appreciating the fact that she hadn't put any pressure on him. He wondered why Nina had been the sole witness. No one should make him into someone he is not, according to Nina. Eddie concurred and proposed that leaving town might be in everyone's best interests. As soon as Olivia left the penthouse, the conversation came to an abrupt halt. Olivia gave Eddie the reassurance that she was leaving, but she also gave him Sunny's number in case he wanted to call. Eddie acknowledged that the encounter with Olivia had been harsh after she left. Although Nina hinted that things would become simpler with time, she cautioned him that the area was full of Quartermains. Eddie admitted that he loved living on the road since he could concentrate on his music and felt most alive there. Nothing, Eddie pointed out, was keeping him in Port Charles. Later, Nina hurried inside the penthouse to make amends with Sunny. Sunny was alarmed and inquired about Ned. Nina asserted that she had been powerless to prevent Ned. Ned has left, Nina said. Dex knocked on the door a little while later, and Sunny yelled for him to come in. An irate Eddie was led inside when Dex opened the door. Brooklyn was annoyed that Tracy expected her to report to work in the Quartermain kitchen, and she questioned how significant Ned was to Tracy. Although there was nothing they could do for Ned, Tracy made a pledge that she cared about him. Brooklyn disputed this, but when Olivia got back after seeing Ned, she let Tracy and Brooklyn know that her efforts had been in vain. Olivia said, "Your dad doesn't see us as family anymore." "Now what?" questioned Brooklyn. They had to come up with a fresh strategy, but Olivia vowed she would not give up. Brooklyn consented to change for work after Olivia left. Tracy grinned contentedly. Ava told Austin in his office that she had changed her mind about firing Pilar. Mason was an impatient man who wouldn't hesitate to find a novel method to inspire them. So Austin pleaded with Ava to think it over. Because Mason couldn't afford to hurt Ava, she wasn't deterred. Austin questioned, "Who says it's your bones he's going to break?" Mason was vicious, and Austin warned Ava that no one was safe from Mason's attention. Ava decided to devise a plan to terminate Pilar. Mason showed up after a little while. Mason had requested the meeting, so Austin invited Mason to get right to the point. Ava was adamant that she needed more time because she and Sunny had never been friends when Mason questioned what she had in store for him. Mason wanted to see results, but Austin assured him that he and Ava had a strategy in place. Ava, frustrated, inquired as to Mason's precise search criteria. "Anything on pikemen," Mason remarked. Ava was admonished by Mason to quit procrastinating, or he would find a method to inspire her. Ava was given a small plastic bag by Mason when he took it out of his jacket. The hair that had been removed from Nicholas' body and put in the bag belonged to Ava. The DNA evidence didn't pose a threat to Ava, but Mason reminded her that the police were aware that Ava had been the last person to see Nicholas before he vanished. Mason was sure that the police would quickly come to the conclusion that Ava had killed Nicholas. Mason was reassured by Austin that he and Ava were aware of the risks. Austin recommended that Ava drug Pilar after Mason had left. Ava hesitated to make such a bold move. She committed to coming up with anything, but first she wanted to see Avery. Ava was strolling across the park a short while later when Pilar came up, screaming for assistance. Ava was alarmed and inquired about Avery. Avery is no longer there. She vanished, Pillar stated.